How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here, and in this video we're going to be doing an overall market update, taking a look at the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq. We're also going to be doing a trading update, talking about what I personally did today in the markets, and a couple of stocks that I'm actually swing trading right now, as well as a couple of other ones that I'm watching and looking to trade here in the middle of December, heading into this new year in January of 2020. But before we do get into all of this good stuff, plus talking about Uber stock in particular, all I ask from you is to go down below, hit that like button, and consider subscribing if you want to see further stock market content from me. And if you want 2 free stocks, actually, Weeble's running a promotion right now where if you use my affiliate link down below, deposit $100, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. So that's linked down below. And without further ado, guys, let's just get right into it and start off here with the SPX, the S&P 500, the 500 largest publicly traded U.S. companies. So you guys can see, yet again, we hit an all-time high here today at $3,225.65 here, guys. Very, very strong day in these markets, up 0.5% here at the close, and you guys can see that strong consolidation period ended up being a pop zone, right? It ended up being a level where we ended up gapping up instead of selling off and gapping down. And it makes sense, guys, especially with, the optimism surrounding the trade war that we've been seeing in this market. But now with this massive gap up, we're getting in more dangerous territory, meaning we're in overbought territory. Take a look at this RSI. It's at 78 right now, very overbought. So at this point, would I go long on maybe some of these market ETFs that track the S&P? Probably not quite yet. I personally would like to see pull down. Like I've been saying, I actually said that yesterday, but now that we got even more overextended, I'm really saying it now, right? I'm really saying it now, and I really want to wait for that, pull down and maybe that EMA. And that's where I'd probably end up maybe taking a position in SPXL, which we talked about in yesterday's video, that goes up whenever the S&P is going up at a 3x rate, right? And you guys can see this one was up 1.46%, just to show you that 3x rate, and in terms of today's trading day, and the S&P was up 0.5%, so it was up 3 times what the S&P was up. So overall, very, very strong day in these markets today, guys. A lot of individual stocks did very well as I'm sure most of you guys already know today if you looked into your portfolios. So let's go to the Dow Jones. This was up 0.3% today, up $78.13. And just like the S&P, we hit an all-time high yet again in the Dow Jones at $28,608.64. And this actually looks like it's already pulling down, which is a pretty good sign, right? Because this was also very, very overbought. And you can see already, again, that pull down, it seems like we're holding that EMA here on the hourly chart as a support. And if we pull back to that 4-hour chart, we're not as overbought as the S&P, again, due to that pull down that we are seeing here, towards the end of the day, or that we did see towards the end of the day. But we're still pretty overbought, right? We're at a 70 level in terms of the RSI, so I could see this pulling down to maybe the EMA level at around 28,350 on this 4-hour chart, and from there, that could be a potential dip buy, and we could potentially continue the uptrend at that point to try and get another all-time high. And who knows, guys, we might not even pull down at all. We might just continue to fly up. Who knows? That's kind of why we analyze the markets here every day on the channel, and why I look very heavily in the futures markets on Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard when that opens up, and heading into the trading day to get an idea, or the trading day into Monday, to get an idea of how could these markets open up? What trajectory are these markets going to push starting out the week? That's kind of what I do Sunday, and again, heading into Monday morning. So if we pull up here, the Nasdaq, this was up 37 points, up 0.4%, and it's actually continuing to move here up because this is the future, and this is 30 minutes after the market closed, the time that I'm recording this video. So it makes sense that the futures are still open, right? So that's continuing to move. And if we go to that, actually, first and foremost, on the 4-hour chart, just like the S&P and the Dow, it's overbought. RSI is at 76, very overextended. I showed you guys a potential scenario that could play out yesterday in yesterday's video, indicated by this arrow of a pull down, which never happened. And obviously, we hit that all-time high, which got us even more overextended, which, in my opinion, we actually need this pull down even more now. So if we get a pull down in the Nasdaq, again, we might not, but if we do, we may be pulling down to that 50 SMA, whether it's at 8,500, 8,600. That could be the overall level where we end up finding some support before continuing this uptrend. And pretty much every time frame, indicates overextension in these markets, the markets being overbought. So I'd be careful here. I'd be careful not getting FOMO. I'd wait for some sort of pull down. That's me, at least, right? And again, I'm documenting my journey, sharing with you all my opinions here on this channel. Do what you guys want, but for me, I'd wait for a pull down. So overall, that is what the markets were looking like today. Very strong day, across the board. I'd love to know what you guys actually think about these markets down below in the comments. As always, I love talking to you guys and engaging with you guys. So what did I personally do today? I bought a little bit more Uber stock, ticker symbol UBER. And this is one that we talked about in yesterday's video, and you guys saw it in the title in today's video because I see a lot of potential for Uber. This stock is one, and we talked about this yesterday. It's a stock that's been battered down over the past couple of months. It seems like the negative narrative and just overall the business just burning through tons of cash, that sent the stock down, no doubt about it, right? From 47 down to about $25. But it seems like, and especially on a technical basis, it seems like this could be the bottom, because ever since this double bottom at $25, which is a bullish move, that lockup expiration, right? We all remember that. Ever since those two events kind of occurred, this has been reversing to the upside. Again, double bottom, lockup expiration. Ever since then, we've been making higher highs, higher lows. We actually broke out of the moving averages, which is why, I took that position yesterday, and which is why I added a bit more today at around $30. So I see just a ton of potential, and, analysts, a bunch of analysts out there have been raising their price targets to $50, $60, in terms of Uber, and saying that the worst is behind them. And honestly, I kind of agree with that, because again, the lockup, the overall downtrend seems to be, at least on a technical basis, over. So that's kind of how we have to play it. And if we go to the 20-day, 1-hour chart, we can see, again, we broke those moving averages, but we also broke the what level of resistance? $28, $29, and now we're testing $30.50, which if we break that, we may be going up to $33. So overall here, guys, in terms of my Uber trade, again, I got in yesterday right around here, 30-ish bucks, I believe, and again, I added a little bit more this morning, and then we saw that big breakout from about $30 up to $31. Pulled down, and even though we pulled down, the uptrend is still holding. So I'm really liking this price action here on Uber. And like I mentioned, guys, in yesterday's video, I'm looking to slowly add money into this, and I plan on taking profits at around $33. And if we break out of that level of resistance, there's a lot more potential from there, and maybe I add more, who knows, or maybe I buy back in. We'll see if that ends up happening. But for now, I'm playing it the way I told you guys, adding more money on this resistance break maybe next week, and then planning on taking around maybe a 7-8% profit at around $33. So that's kind of what happened with Uber and what I'm doing with Uber, and the big pop that we saw today in Uber stock. Some other stocks that I'm involved with are Home Depot, ticker symbol HD. This is up about 0.45% today, up nearly $1 per share. This is one that I started scaling in at around 217, 218 as we broke above this 50 SMA, and ever since then, guys, the uptrend has been continuing. I'm holding, and I'm planning on selling at around 223. Another one that I'm in is PayPal, guys. PYPL. This is one that I've just been holding. It seems like it's been fiddling around these past couple of days, holding support at 130, which I do like. So ultimately, I need to see this to break out of 110 next week, which is a resistance from a couple of days ago, before adding more money. And ultimately, I want to sell out at around 112. That's the goal sell point here on PayPal. And I actually took a little bit of profits today off of ATV, because ATV also did well earlier in the day before it dropped towards the close of the market. You can see it's up 9 cents, but earlier in the day, this was up even higher, closer to that 60 level, which I've been mentioning in these videos. That's where I want to take some profits off the board. I'm a man of my word, a man of my plan, and that's what I ended up doing. A little bit shy of 60 bucks, but that's just me being cautious, honestly, heading into the weekend, locking in some profits. I like doing that. I've been doing that for a while, locking some profits before the weekend. And out of all the stocks that I'm holding in terms of swings, ATV's the one that I think locking in, makes the most sense at this point, because it's ran up so quick in just the past week alone. And I do have a couple shares left, a decent sized chunk of my position left, just to have exposure, because sure, there's more upside. We can get to 62 bucks, 62.50, which at that point, that's where I want to be completely out of the position. So overall, that's what I'm doing right now, guys. Uber, ATV, PayPal, Home Depot, those are ones that I'm swing trading. And let's talk about some other ones here. There's some here on my phone that I do want to cover, because a lot of these stocks have been doing great, guys, killing the markets, because the markets in general, they've been going up, so it makes sense. Let's talk about NEO, because NEO today was on the verge of breaking out of 270. I think it did briefly this morning, or at some point during today. It's pretty similar price action to yesterday, right? We were fiddling with 270, didn't fully break above it, but the fact that we closed right around it and above the moving averages on the 5-day, 5-minute, I think this remains bullish. So for this upcoming week, 270 needs to hold, and we need to break towards 290 before getting to $3, like I've mentioned in previous videos, right? And if we go to the 90-day chart, you'll be able to see 270 up to 290-ish, $3, and then from $3, if we break that, we could go even higher, maybe $3.30. And the main catalyst, driving this is the Intel deal that NEO, came to a couple of weeks ago. And I feel like Tesla's rally has been spilling over maybe a little bit into NEO stock. I'd love to know what you guys actually have to think about that. The next stock I want to talk about here, let me pull up my phone, guys. Give me a second. The next one I want to talk about is Johnson & Johnson. And this is one that's fiddling with these all-time highs here at around 147. And this is one that I was buying heavily, guys. Let me tell you, I was buying heavily at around 129 to 130, and you can see that in my public account on M1 Finance, and in my private account, I was buying way more than in my M1 Finance account, but the truth is, or rather the reality is, I was buying a lot through these 4 or 5 month periods in a bunch of different accounts that I own. And now we're up like a nice 11-12% on those shares. And I'm interested now in maybe buying a little bit in my swing account if we end up holding around 145-ish as a new support. And let me tell you why. Because if we look back here on the 3-year chart, actually maybe not 145, maybe if we break 148, which is that all-time high, that could be the point where Johnson & Johnson maybe pushes into the 150s, 160s. I actually saw an analyst, now that I'm thinking about it, he had a price target of 170 on Johnson & Johnson. So this could be the point in time where we completely break out of this horizontal channel that we've been trading in over these past literally 3 years, guys. Johnson & Johnson has been up and down over the past 3 years, so we may see finally a break, into a new channel for Johnson & Johnson here. Some other ones, Shopify, did something that I kind of wanted it to do today, which is a pull down, which is very, very good since it's been very hot. So now I'm looking to re-enter this upcoming week. If I pull up this 4-hour chart, you'll be able to see it. If we hold around 380, I'm hoping we pull down, fingers crossed, guys, to 380, hold that 50 SMA. That could be an entry point. Roku's another one that's in a wedge, it seems like, at this point, where if we pop above these moving averages next week, I see potential that we could go up to maybe 150, maybe 155 in the stock, and from there, if we pop above that, resistance of the wedge, there could be more upside. There could be 160, 170, and maybe back to all-time highs. Who knows, guys? If this continues to stay hot like it has been, we could be pushing up a lot here. So Facebook's another one. FB, we broke 205. Now it's worth watching on a move to maybe 210, to maybe 216, and even higher would be putting us to an all-time high here on Facebook. And let me talk about UGAS to end off this video, guys. UGAS finally is starting to look a bit bullish here. We found a support, it seems like, over the past week or so at around $7-8. Now we're trending above the moving averages, and we closed above the 50 and the EMA here today. Now I'd like to see a potential fill, or for it to start to fill up to maybe that 180 SMA, which is at around $12. And that is a massive move. Not saying that's going to happen, but if we start to push maybe towards $9, $10 over these next couple of days, weeks, that's the move that we want to see to get bullish in these next couple of weeks, right? So NG F20, which is natural gas, this was up 6 cents today, and it continued its breakout above moving averages, still trending above, or below rather, that 180 SMA, which is a bit worrisome for the downtrend here. But overall, we're finally seeing some bullish price action in these past couple of days for natural gas. So I'm interested in seeing if this will continue. So overall, that's pretty much it for this video. Don't want to drag it too long, especially here on a Friday. If you want to see more stock breakdowns, and if you want me to talk about any specific stock, drop a comment down below. I do stock breakdowns and preparations for the upcoming week, or just a preparation rather for the upcoming week every Sunday, where I talk about stocks I'm watching and I'm looking to trade, and some that you maybe want me to break down if you comment in this video. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you want to see further content. And again, drop a comment. Any thoughts on the market, any stocks you want me to break down. And if you want to be a part of the Strive Smart community, Discord link is down below. The Facebook link is also down below. And don't forget, 2 free stocks are waiting for you on Webull if you deposit $100 using my affiliate link in the description box. And those 2 stocks are valued up to $1,400, guys. So take advantage of that link down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. Hope you all did well today and have a fantastic weekend. Peace out.